Hello out there in YouTube land, Rival here. Thanks for stopping by. Got something new on the table for you this week, and we're testing out a new camera, so hopefully I'm piping this out in high def. We'll see how this camera works compared to my previous cameras, but yeah, high def for a beautiful knife. So this is a ZT-077 M390. And I thought I'd do a different kind of video for you this week. I got this from a gentleman who has been a customer of mine for a while, so thank you very much for that. But what we are going to be doing is making this a lefty carry. He is a lefty, so I've done a few knives for him and put the clip on the opposite sides of knives that don't generally have them there. So for this particular video, I'm not going to do everything start to finish on the blade, but I am actually going to disassemble this particular knife because I figure a lot of you guys would love to see what's inside it without actually having to take yours apart. So I figured doing the work on this one would be a great opportunity for you guys to see the disassembly of a ZT-0777 M390. That being said, once I get started, I may fast forward a little bit through it because it's not going to be super exciting, but I will go back to regular speed when we start looking at the hardware and things on the inside. So yeah, we're going to be taking this clip, which is right hand carry only, tip up. We're going to put it in on this side, and yeah, let's take this bad boy apart. All you need to take this thing apart is a T6 and a T8 bit drivers. Well, not necessarily bit drivers, but Torx drivers. I am using bit drivers. These are my favorite types to work with. I have gone through many cheap-ass T6s and T8s. It's not worth buying cheap ones and replacing them when they keep stripping. Get good drivers. Weha. I think that's how you say it. It's a German name. Weha. These things are great. These are hardened steel bits, so they are not going to move around on you. They're not going to strip on you. All right, so we'll start by just taking these three out. Then we're going to loosen up the pivots. That's going to leave the sub frame lock. So we'll actually take the clip off because that's drilled from the inside, and then the subframe is held. Oh, sorry guys. Subframe is held in by these three screws that are hidden by the pocket clip. So we're going to completely take this thing apart. We'll take a look at the insides, and I'm going to prep these scales to be drilled out so that we can make this a lefty carry. Alright guys. Alright, sorry about that brief cut there. We are back. I don't know if you noticed or not, but I was having a little bit of trouble getting the knife apart after I had gotten the body screws apart. And that is because the blade stop bar is press fit pretty goddamn tight into these carbon fiber scales. So now that we got this thing apart, let's take a peek. So here is one of the scales. So you can see, hopefully, there you go. That is just a nice flat milled pocket for the pivot screw, countersunk. On the inside you can see where they've got it countersunk for the ball bearing race. Now I found this to be pretty interesting. They actually have, you can see on the knife here, so this is how I took the blade out. It has this little metal washer that sits inside, and the bearings actually run on that little metal washer, so you don't have ball bearings just rolling on carbon fiber. I was wondering why it would feel so buttery smooth, knowing, you know, what carbon fiber can feel like. So that's how it gets that super buttery smooth feel to it. And then you can see on the inside here is the lock bar side of the scale. So again, there's the ball bearing, the race, or the washer that they use in the race. And put this stuff back just exactly as I find it. So you've got that milled pocket. Lock bar is adjustable, which is one of the beautiful features of this particular knife. You got the detent in the lock bar. So you can see how far in. It doesn't really go that far in, but it is just, you know, really perfectly milled, held in by these 3 body screws, which were covered up by the old pocket clip. I'm actually going to brush these up just so it doesn't lose any of its flavor when we move the pocket clip over to this side. But there you go. That is a completely disassembled ZT 0777. Here's a backspacer. 777 M390. And so what I'm going to do basically is, hold on. First, I'm going to make sure that I remember which side of the knife these things go on. There we go. So again, I want to make sure I put everything back exactly as I found it. But I'm basically going to use this as my guide. I'm going to drill my holes. Drill my holes through. I'm going to countersink them. You can see how the pocket clip is held on at the end there. Just 2 countersunk holes. Pocket clip held on from the inside. That way you get a very nice, clean look to that 777 clip. Alright, so I'll probably put up another video when this is all done, or maybe I'll just make it all one video. I'm not quite sure yet, so whatever ends up happening, I will see you guys soon. Alright guys, sorry about that last cut. I ran into another little difficulty, but we got it all done, all fixed. So here it is, the finished 0777 M390 with a left carry clip. So she is about as lefty as you're ever going to get on one of these things. She is perfectly centered. She is beautiful flipper. Well, once we get past that detent, just buttery smooth. So you saw all the work that went into this guy. She's got the washers inside the milled out races to allow for a nice smooth travel on those ball bearings. Made sure and wash my hands good before I put it back together so I wasn't getting it mucked up or anything. So here's the other side now, the lock side now. You can see the 3 little button head screws that hold the subframe lock in place. It's actually kind of a cool little aesthetic. I know the gentleman, and I know he's actually going to use this knife, which is why we're left carrying it. So it's going to be an amazing knife for him. And for all you lefties out there, you can now drool away. Yeah, the problem I was having, and the reason I had to stop this last time, so you can see the clip holes here, and it's a wide clip, so when it goes over here, it covers just a little bit of corner of this guy. But because it bolts in from this side, it doesn't obstruct anything. But when I move the clip over to this side, you can see it covers that screw head ever so slightly, but it prevented me from putting it down, so I actually had to take everything apart again, tilt this guy back, put the screw in, put the clip back on, and then put it back together with the screw in there. So, a little tricky, not too bad. Oh man, I'm going to hate having to send this thing back because this is amazing. I've been trying to get my hands on one of these, but it hasn't worked out yet. Bata! So there you go, you guys. That is a ZT0777 M390 deconstructed and turned into a left carry. Alright guys, thanks for stopping by. Peace.